We shall see. Native Americans rail against Trump's call to change Commander's name back. Native American groups fought for years to get the city's National Football League team to change its name. Now, President Donald Trump wants to change it back to a moniker many Native Americans consider offensive and disrespectful. No Native American child should have to sit through a pep rally or in a stadium where their culture is being mocked, said Jacqueline DeLon, senior staff attorney for a Native American Rights Fund. Trump threatened over the weekend to block a deal to build a stadium in Washington, D.C. if the Washington Commanders team refused to revert to the name it had from 1937 when the team moved from Boston until 2020. The Washington whatevers should immediately change their name back to Washington Redskins Football Team. Trump posted on Truth Social site. I may put a restriction on them if they don't change the name back to the original Washington Redskins and get rid of this ridiculous moniker, Washington Commanders. In a post the same day, Trump said Native Americans would welcome the change. Our great Indian people in massive numbers want this to happen, he wrote in the post that also encouraged the Cleveland Guardians to revert to a former name. Their heritage and prestige is systematically being taken away from them. Times are different now. Times are different now than they were 3 or 4 years ago. We are a country of passion and common sense. Owners, get it done. Native American, but that's not what USA Today found when reaching out to Native American activists. Native Americans are not mascots, said Savannah Romero, a member of the enrolled member of the East Shoshone Nation, who urged city councils not to yield to the name change. We are a language keeper, land protector, survivors of attempted genocide, and part of a sovereign nation, Romero, co-founder and deputy director of the BLIS, Black Liberation Indigenous Sovereignty Collective, said in a statement. To equate Native people with cartoonish mascots alongside animals is gross and ongoing tactic of dehumanization. Yeah. I said it. I had it, Wes. I got hooked on
phonics. This is what I'm going to say, man. This dude is just stupid. We got to think about who we're talking about. We're talking about the same person who called Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas at a Native American, they were giving them awards. I think they were giving like Purple Hearts or something for them being a part of, I can't remember which war, maybe it was World War II or something like that. You know what I mean? But they were giving awards away to Native Americans. He starts talking about Pocahontas and started making fun of her. Now you're going in and saying Indians. I don't, most people who I know call themselves Native Americans. You guys are the ones who brought in this Indian thing to the table, first of all. And what would I had a conversation with somebody. I'm like, I'd be like calling a team the Washington Blackskins. Yeah, would we want to hear that? But
they called them Indians because Columbus, for some reason, thought he was going to India,
the West Indies.
No, yeah. He thought so he saw them. He's like, oh, they're Indians. That's where that name comes from. And the people in India aren't even real Indians. You know what I'm saying? They're not Indians. That was given to them by colonization. They're called something else. So there's no such thing as an Indian in this world. You know what I'm saying? They just made it up. And to call the tribal people here Indians is wild. They're tribe. They're from a tribe. They're people. First of all, they're people, but they're from separate tribes. You know what I'm saying? Why don't they ask the commanders, hey, make it the white skins?
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to me that this person has the audacity. All you want to do is try to you're using every trick in the book. He's told the Washington Commanders that he's going to try to maybe stall them getting a stadium built that they already have approval for. He's going to try to block that from being done if they don't change their name back. This dude you got to a point to where, I mean, yeah, we had a bunch of people in this country think that things went too far. That happened for most of the Europeans in this country, that they were the ones who thought that way. They felt like things were going too far another way they couldn't control. But this whole entire thing is uncontrollable at this point in time. From a global standpoint, for you guys, is uncontrollable. So I mean, to bring in people.
My bad to cut you off, Wes. The whole thing is, look, it's racist.
Absolutely.
You may not feel it's racist because it doesn't affect you. You know what I'm saying? If they change the Washington Commanders name to the Washington Sister Fuckers and put a picture of you with your sister on it, would you feel offended? I'm just saying, wouldn't you? They'd feel offended. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that's exactly how it feels when you look and they call it the Redskins. I ain't never met a red person a day in my life.
You got to look at it.
Look at the Indians, right? They had to do with the feather and the bucko teeth and come on now, bro. It's racist. It's always been racism. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay because it doesn't affect you.
You got to remember. You got to remember too. Like, it's like the reason why they got rid of Uncle Ben's and Aunt Jemima. things like that. People don't really realize the imagery that has been placed that has really affected the entire world, infected the entire world. You can go anywhere around the world, and the way that they treat people who have lighter skin is markedly different than the way they treat people who have darker skin. They could be of the same race. They could be of the same everything. You know what I mean? You can go places like, Dominican Republic or Brazil, anywhere. You can go like places in Asia. The same exact thing occurs. It's because we've had an infection of of Europeans who traversed the globe and left that type of thinking around the globe. Even though as we go forward, these same people will no longer hold on to power. I think they've left an indelible mark on people around the world as far as what we should think about race and and who is smarter, who is better, or anything else. And what they've done is erased a lot of people's history too at the same exact time and try to make their history other people. It's like a lot of stolen history, pretty much.
Yeah, it is. And then, the whole thing, but we're here in America, like the tribes don't want this because, like I said, once again, they're not Indians. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no such thing as an Indian in America. These are native people. They're from tribes. These are actually Americans. They're actually the real Americans. So let's just put that out there. There's a name change for a reason. And it's all a distraction. But I'm saying he knows how to rile up his base and to get people talking. Anything to get away from Epstein. He's like, I'll go full blown racist on this. I'll go full blown racist and attack Obama on the side. Boom, little fry side, little extra shake. You know what I'm saying?
Just to get him talking.
Just to get him talking and stop talking about him sleeping with young girls. That's he's admitted to. He's like, I like him young. It's certain, some of them age out for him. And it's a sad state that you're going to have to threaten, because that's the reason they're saying Stephen Colbert got fired too from the late night show, is because he went on this whole rant about Donald Trump, right? And they didn't fire him because of the rant. They fired him because Paramount's trying to sell the company. And when they sell the company, the only person that can stop the sale is the executive branch. And they don't want nothing to come back. So they're like, hey, get rid of this guy. We're going to get rid of you. And that was their top rated show, the late night show.
That's crazy. How do you sell that? How do you sell that to somebody? You get rid of your top rated show, and now you're trying to sell something that's going to be worth a little bit less, but it's really you're selling your catalog. It's just too bad that we're at this point in time where we're allowing a person who has this type of a history, who has this type of a way of thinking to run the world, man. And we've allowed the people who voted for him at the same time. The people who voted for him are even worse than who he is, because they allowed themselves to be duped. I mean, not fully, because I think some of you are into the stuff that he's into.
No, they're into it. I was watching. I can't remember the guy's name. I just saw his picture on my feed, but he was doing an interview. What is his name? Mahdi Hassan, where he's interviewing the college students. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, the 20v1. The 20v1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the kids was up there. He's like, "Oh, I love it. I think he should infringe on the Constitution more."
Fascist. He's like, "Yeah, I am that." The guy's crazy. It's like, we shouldn't have nothing. We should have one vote and then never have another vote again. You know what I mean? Yep. We should have a king here in this country. These guys want to be ran. Half of them, when I look at you, I don't want to ever hear you say anything about anyone else, because you guys, I mean, the way you're acting about this, about your fellow man, is kind of strange.
Well, they're
really,
looking
really
at
strange.
Human, you know what I'm saying? They look at themselves as gods, because I mean, they got to be raised in, I mean, it's a crazy world of affairs that's going to come crashing down pretty soon, because it looks like they're eating themselves from the inside out right now. And we're going to keep you updated on that, ladies and gentlemen, because once again, this is Uncommon Courtesy. Until next time.